So Shaquille O'Real fake put a narrative out there that he won 6 championships with Steph Curry. It's your boy J God. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Red button on the right side. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Why are we here? Yeah, I know why we're here. Well, Tracy McGrady started it. Well, the whole media, like Gilbert Arenas, Jeff T, they started it. But like, it was continued by T-Mac, saying that he could have won at least one championship with Shaq, which I agree with. I think he gets the 2000 championship. Shaq was undeniable. They would have had a rough roll with that Portland team, but I think with T-Mac's size and what he can do with the basketball with Shaq, and T-Mac being like a second option type at the time, I think they would have won the 2000 championship. 01, I disagree with. 2002, I disagree with. But I'm not mad at T-Mac for saying that. I think he would have won at least one. He was being light with it, and y'all killed him. Now, Shaq goes over. Shaquille O'Real fake, a.k.a. Shaquille O'Neal, goes to a podcast and says he would have won 3 with T-Mac. Now you're overdoing it. Now you're overdoing it. He would have won 2 with Vince Carter. He would have won 6 with Steph Curry. And then after that, they're having arguments of who's better, Steph Curry or Kobe Bryant. Shaq would have won 6 championships with Steph Curry if they would have played. Now, here's the thing. You cannot use 2022 Steph. You can't use 17, 18 Steph, 18, 19 Steph. You have to use, to be fair, rookie year to year 8, which would be, I think, the championship year for Steph. I think it's either the first championship or second championship to his rookie year. Like, Shaq didn't even play with the best Kobe. So we can't. There's a lot of factors here. Because before the 4 or 5 seasons that they played with Phil, he played with a coach called Dale Harris, who used to coach the Dallas Mavericks, who didn't like to play rookies, by the way. So Steph Curry, his rookie season, he probably doesn't get tired. That's one factor. Let's say, some reason or another, it breaks him. We probably don't get to see Steph. Now, playing in a more physical era, with Steph with the bad knees, with the bad ankles, you know, them 90s and them little over, them 2000 people, they going after it. Maybe, let's say he survives it. Steph survives it. Now, we go to Phil Jackson. Now, Phil Jackson scaled back Kobe. You think he wouldn't have scaled back Steph Curry? Shooting all them threes. You think Phil Jackson, the way he coaches, would let Steph in a game shoot 40-foot threes? Come on, man. You gotta get if you put somebody in certain eras, you gotta cap what they were doing in that era. They weren't shooting a whole bunch they were shooting more threes than they was in the 90s, but it's not like now. So you gotta bring that to a factor. Will Phil Jackson accept it? Let's say Phil Jackson accepts Steph shooting all them threes. Let's say he accepts it. Steph, do what you want. This is the same Phil Jackson that scaled back Kobe. Now, Shaq had a problem when Kobe was shooting all them shots. And Phil had to talk to him and scale it back. He had a problem when Dwayne Wade was taking them shots. And Dwayne Wade, in some instances, had to take a step back in a way. You think Shaq wouldn't have a problem with Steph Curry shooting that bitch super crazy like that? Come on, man. Shaq saying he the big dog, body, stop shooting that. Hey, yo, Steph, what you think gonna happen when Shaquille O'Neal said, hey, yo, stop shooting them 40-foot threes? I'm big dog here. Maybe Steph would be like, hey, man, all right, yeah, you big dog. Here you go. Here you go. Probably cost him a championship. We don't know. But the thing is, we can't take the best Steph 2020, 2021, 2022, because that would be disingenuous. Now we got to bring it back the best Kobe and put him in with Shaq. Which wouldn't be fair because he played with him 96 to 2004. So it wouldn't be a real good argument. Coaching style matters. The era that you played in matters. How people are shooting better, has a better field goal percentage back in this era than now. Like I say, because of hand checking, even though hand check is still in the game, and the court being spaced out more because they had more shooters, the field goal percentage is gonna go up because you can't really tag and help as much because you got a shooter right here, and he might go off and get 30. But it is what it is, man. Do I think Steph Curry would have won the championship with Shaquille O'Neal? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now you gotta talk about teammates. Would Rick Fox, Robert Horry, Devin George, those guys, would they fit with Steph? Would an old Gary Payton, who ran the show, with Karl Malone, would that work with Steph? We do not know. But the thing is, what separates him, Steph Curry, and Kobe Bryant was Kobe Bryant was a lockdown defender. Steph wasn't. Kobe took the challenge. We don't know at that time Steph would have took the challenge, even though after those 8 years, the first 8 years of Steph Curry career, I say about year 10, maybe year 10, year 10, year 11, when Steph started getting stronger. He started to take more of the defensive assignments, and we should add that in when it comes to his argument, because he did get better as a defender as he matured to the player that he is today. But Kobe is a lockdown defender. He's gonna stop. He's gonna score 30 and shut down the best player. Iverson had 48. They put Kobe on. Hey man, Kobe, we need that dog. We know you're gonna have to give up some of your offensive prowess, but we need to stop him. Kobe did it. He slowed down AI. Steph Curry isn't slowing down AI. Jason Kidd in that finals would post up Steph Curry so crazy. The 2001 is a little shaky because it depends on the Blazers. It doesn't depend on Indiana. It depends on that Blazers team. Because that Blazers team, low-key, was a real good team. Damon Stoudemire was on that team. Scottie Pippen was on that team. Rasheed Wallace, Sabonis was on that team. They had some players. Brian Grant was on that team. Zach Randolph was on that team, even though he didn't really play like that. They had some good pieces. Steve Smith was on that team. They had a real good team. You go by talent, like that Blazers team was supposed to win a championship that year. I don't know if Steph beats them, but it would have been a cold series. But when y'all do this argument with Kobe and Steph Curry, if they would have won 6 championships, y'all gotta go by the 8 years that Kobe Bryant and Shaq played together. Kobe's rookie year until Kobe's 8th year. And you gotta go by Steph's rookie year to his 8th year. You can't compare when Steph got better defensively, year 10, year 11. You can't, because they didn't play, Shaq and Kobe didn't play year 9, year 10 together. So that would be disingenuous. But it is what it is. How many championships do y'all think Steph and Shaq would have won together? I have 0. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think Phil Jackson would embrace Steph Curry shooting all these threes in the 2000s? Would his game be embraced in the 2000s? Will Shaquille O'Neal accept his game in the 2000s? Like I said before, he was ticked off when Kobe was shooting that bitch. He was a little ticked off when Dwayne Wade was shooting that bitch. You don't think he would have been ticked off if Steph Curry was shooting that bitch? And we not going to talk about when he had somebody that played second fiddle for real with him, Penny Hardaway, that gave Shaq praise, that gave Shaq love, that gave Shaq the ball anytime he wanted to. He hated on that nigga. He hated on the person that picked him up the most. But you think he wouldn't do that to Steph? Okay. Oh, okay. Shaq, we can't prove if Steph Curry would have won 6 championships. Like, I can't prove that Kobe Bryant would have won 10 championships if he played with Tim Duncan. Now, Steph Curry is in the top 10 in the Bleacher Report on the list. And Kobe Bryant was 11. And you add something, and they add something cultural impact to it that probably was the deciding factor between Kobe and Steph. Now, if we're going to do that and add cultural impact culturally in basketball, don't forget worldwide. Let's just talk about just in the game of basketball. Then why Steph isn't number 1 on the list? Why isn't he the greatest basketball player of all time? Hear me out. If we're not going to take away the dream team. We're not going to take everything that Jordan did. Let's think about cultural impact for a second. When Steph Curry was shooting more threes and teams changed their roster to shoot that to shoot more threes than ever. We can say what we want about Michael Jordan, but not a lot of guys played like Michael Jordan. Kobe was the one exception that had the Jordan package, but even Kobe embraced the Jordan package later in his career. It wasn't early in his career. He didn't play like Jordan the first few years in the league. He did. He had the fadeaway. He had certain little the tongue out and everything and stuff like that. But like he didn't play like Jordan till later. That was 24. That started playing more like Jordan. So let's say only one person played like Jordan. What? Not Vince, not Tracy McGrady, even though, they did the fade, they did do the fadeaway and a couple of things like that, but they didn't play like Jordan. So if no one played like Jordan, and there's kids that's running around right now playing like Steph, wouldn't Steph have basketball culturally more than Michael Jordan? So if you're going to impact culturally, you got to put Steph number one, right? We just got to play fair. We just got to play fair here. Culturally, he's more impactful culturally than Wilt. The one thing that the two players that you could say that he doesn't have more culturally, basketball wise, and that's Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, but that's because they saved the game. NBA was on tape delay. But like there wasn't people there's no one that had games like a game like Larry Bird, like an official game like Larry Bird. I know because Luka white, so they tried to put the Larry Bird tag on Luka, but he plays nothing like Larry Bird. I don't see Magic Johnson in any player in the league. But you see Steph Curry, he's everywhere. Why is he the GOAT? Why does he get to pass Kobe? Why don't he get to pass Wilt? Why don't he get to pass Bird and Magic? Why don't he get to pass Tim Duncan? If we go about culturally, no one plays like Tim Duncan, so you can't give Tim Duncan basketball-wise culture. So you got to put him over Tim Duncan too. So that's what made the list kind of murky. But it is what it is, man. Even though I got Kobe as the GOAT, I'm being fair to Steph. Because that Trailblazer team was tough. I don't know. And they was rough and they was tough. So I don't know if it would have been year 4 Curry, so that would have been before the MVPs, the MVP Curry, but it would just been he got over the ankle injuries when he was averaging like 23 points a game. Maybe he win that one, because Shaq would have been undeniable and Curry would have been okay would have been all right with being the second option, and maybe he gets more single teams, more open looks because Shaq is a willing passer, probably, but it's something that we'll never know. But it's your boy J God. Like, comment, subscribe, man. Red button on the right side. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And my closing statement. Let's own something.